Lena went to the Olympics. While sitting on a bench, a lady turned to Ole and said, "Are you a pole vaulter?" And Ole says, "No, I'm Norwegian and my name isn't Walter." Ole and Lena were getting on in years. Ole was 92, Lena was 89. One evening they were sitting on the porch in their rockers, and Ole reached over and patted Lena on the knee. "Lena, whatever happened to our sex relations?" "Well, Ole, I just don't know," said Lena. "I don't think we even got a card from them last Christmas." This girl was a prostitute, but she didn't want her grandma to know, so one day the cops raided the whole group of prostitutes at a sex party in a hotel, and she was amongst them. And the cops took them outside and had all the prostitutes lining up along the drive. And suddenly she saw the grandma come by. The grandma saw her. "Why are you standing in line, dear?" And she didn't want her grandma to know the truth, so he told her the cops were passing out free oranges. "Why, that's awfully nice of them. I think I'll get some for myself," said the grandma. The policeman went down the line asking for information from all the prostitutes, and when he got to the grandma, he said, "Wow, still going at it your age? How do you do it?" And grandma says, "Oh, it's easy, dear. I just take out my dentures and suck them dry." If I melt dry ice, can I swim without getting wet? So this neutron walks in a bar. He says, "I'd like a beer." And the bartender promptly serves up a beer. "How much will that be?" asked the neutron. "For you?" the bartender. "No charge." You know, they had a seminar on time travel. It will be held 2 weeks ago. I think the surest sign that intelligent life exists somewhere else in this universe is that none of it has bothered to contact us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, that's true.
Hey, you know what the Starship Enterprise and toilet paper have in common?
They
both circle Uranus,
and pick off
looking
the
for a black
Klingons.
holes and hope to wipe out the Klingons. You know that one, Randy.
Yeah,
You know all the shit jokes when we hang out with Catboy.
that's right.
At the retreat, Jill and John are each told to write a sentence using the words sex and love. So Jill writes, "When two mature people are both passionately and deeply in love with one another to a high degree and they respect each other very much, just like John and I, it is spiritually and morally acceptable for them to engage in the act of physical sex with one another." And John writes, "I love sex." Did you hear about the transvestite who wanted a night on the town? He wanted to eat, drink, and be merry.
And be merry. Hang out with Eddie Murphy.
So these two men are having a drink together, and one goes, "I had sex with my wife before we were married. What about you?" Other guy says, "Well, I don't know. What was her maiden name?"
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's terrible.
That'd be a good Rodney.
How can you make your wife scream for an hour after sex? Wipe your dick on the curtains. God damn it! Mary and Jane are talking, and Mary declares she's finally got pregnant after years of trying. "How did you manage it?" asked Jane. "I went to that hypnotherapist on Main Street," said Mary. "I got pregnant within 2 months." "Oh, well, my husband and I tried seeing him years ago," says Jane. "Didn't work for us." "Well, of course it wouldn't," said Mary. "You have to go alone."